I think this is one of the sneaky ones in this particular budget, and again it's going to hit certain people, and it's the lower and the middle income people who are most hit. And certainly representing constituency in Dublin, funerals are very expensive, and it was just something that people could depend on to help them with those particular funeral expenses. I mean, death is traumatic at any time, but we've certainly seen in inner city communities a lot of deaths due to addiction and due to suicide, and these are people who depended on that small grant. You might think it's only this, but when you are on limited means, that grant can mean a lot, and to know that you have that, it has been very beneficial. I do hope you can reverse that.
Thank you, Deputy
Maureen O'Sullivan.
Minister, Focus Ireland did note the policy objectives of your government for these changes, and that they were about creating incentives for young people for training and employment. But the concern is about the unintended consequences of these actions, and one certainly is about in relation to housing, and I mentioned it last night when I was speaking. There are a number of these young people who can afford to stay in private rented accommodation now. That's going to go. Probably some of the reason for being there in the first place is because of overcrowding where they originally lived. If that was a local authority housing, that's going to put further stresses on local authority housing, and we know that Dublin City Council just does not have enough housing for the demand. So that's one consequence that's going to come from this. We also know the other one about homelessness. There is absolutely no doubt that it's going to drive more young people into the homeless services who are already straining with the resources that they have. If a young person goes into emergency hostel accommodation, there is going to be virtually impossible to access the jobs or the training opportunities that you say they're going to get. If they're being charged there in these hostels between €50 and €75 a week, that doesn't need very much to live any type of a life with dignity. So we then see what's going to happen is that they're going to be out begging. So there's going to be a need for more resources to go into homeless services. So that's going to completely negate the saving that you're getting from this particular move. The other point, of course, is that we saw it. I mean, I was a teacher, so I know the bright, articulate, great young people that have come through our education system that a lot of money has been spent on. So they're going to go abroad, and what they're doing is they're supporting the economies and the welfare of other countries and not their own country where they want to stay. I mean, all very well if we have jobs and training and opportunities for young people, but my question is there going to be enough jobs, training opportunities and education opportunities for all those young people who want them?
Dáil O'Sullivan.
I think there's no doubt that the mortgage interest supplement has helped to keep people in their homes. And I just want to read into the record here the submission that FLAC and the Northside Community Law Centre made yesterday in relation to this particular aspect. Well, of course, the first point they made was about the lack of proper time to consider all of these cuts and these changes that are going to have a massive impact on the lives of those people who get absolutely no say on what the budget is going to be about. And they saw this abolition of the mortgage interest supplement as being contrary to stated government policy. And the question that they have in their recommendation, which I'll read in, is this: that the mortgage interest supplement be retained at least until the central bank can produce satisfactory evidence that lenders have sustainable strategies to maintain people in their homes without the need for the supplement. And I think that's a very valid request.